Hello there and welcome to Memeobi's Galaxy, your one-stop podcast for all things Star Wars. Whether you know the name of every single clone or you've only watched Star Wars Rebels once, this is a podcast for you. You are a true Star Wars fan. Today, we are back with Ethan. How are we?
Hello, I'm good. Excited to be back.
I'm excited to talk some fun Star Wars with you today. But before we get into the topic of today, we're going to do some shout-outs and some user comment kind of interaction stuff. So,
Sounds good.
the listener of the month, his name is Jose A. Rebello
Oh boy.
Bigio. Bigio. You know who you are. I know you're listening. It was your birthday on February 7th, our last podcast, and I forgot to give you a shout-out. So this is your official shout-out.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I have no idea how old you're turning, but congratulations.
Congrats. On turning the age that
Dude,
you
sometimes
turned.
it's hard to
That's
turn
such
ages.
a good age.
That's just our shout-out. Our comment of the month is by Aubrey Lawson on Instagram, where she commented on one of our last clips from our last episode and said her ideal crossover movie would be Transformers.
Transformers and Star Wars.
Transformers and Star Wars.
Wow.
And I think she probably meant it in the way of Transformers in the Star Wars world. As like they have come to like take over. And
That
like,
is true, because those are both very different takes, you know.
It is. I don't know why.
That would be Star Wars to Earth, basically.
I know, which is like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd be fun, but like, that's such a weird mashup of like Star Destroyers versus like Decepticons rolling around on top of them, you know?
But it would be a cool concept if there was some sort of Transformer in Star Wars, you know? Like there's, like it's a new type of droid all of a sudden.
Yeah.
The Transformers are now that droid.
I could see it almost being like, so in the extended universe or Legends, there was these species called the Yuzhong Vong who hate technology and took over almost all of the galaxy and destroyed all of the technology that was there to do all plant-based stuff. I could see the opposite with Transformers, where Transformers is coming, like, we hate all plant-based materials. We want all machines, and they're like eradicating all the plant life on all the planets.
Dang.
Anyways, that
What
was
if
my
they
thought.
just went after the droids? Like
They
like
just hate
in
droids.
Star Wars, like
Yeah.
droids are kind of avoided. You know, like you're not supposed to really hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
What if they were just that oddball, and now all of a sudden people are grouping together and saving the droids from the
I think it'd be fun.
Transformers?
Well,
who
that's
destroy
kind of like in Solo when they have the droid revolution when they meet Lando or whatever.
True.
We need to watch that again.
We do.
A
good one.
It's my least favorite Star Wars movie ever. So
Wow.
I know. I'm waiting on that episode. Sorry, guys.
Okay. It's like that'll be the elaboration for later.
Yes, that is the teaser for if I ever do that, if I feel like it.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know that.
No. So this week we have Ethan, who has brought some trivia for us.
Yep.
It is time for you to trivia me. I don't know these questions.
All right. Yeah, you don't. Well, I think. Okay. Here's the thing. I've known you for a long time now.
Yes.
And I think you could get these.
Okay.
But that's insane, by the way. If
Okay.
you're able to get these, like, you are a good Star Wars fan. I feel like these are pretty hard. There's no way I would have got these.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself, though, because maybe just one of these are easy, and I'm just happen to be one of those
No,
people.
that's fine.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm ready for
I
trivia.
got 3 for you.
Okay.
Question 1. Who was Luke Skywalker's gunner during the Battle of Hoth?
Hoth. That's Dak.
Yep. Do you know his last name?
Dak Darklighter or
No.
it's Dak.
Yeah, you're right. It is Dak.
They don't say his last name in the movie.
Wow, already. I can't
It's
believe you got
Dak. I don't remember his
that.
last
Dak Ralter.
name. No, I didn't. I never knew that. But I know it's Dak. Dak, come on.
Yeah.
That's all he says.
Wow. Well, good memory on that one. That's pretty. If you got that last name, that would have been pretty crazy then.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not.
like if they just say Dak in the movie and that's how you remembered it.
No, I'm not that far. Not that far in.
All right. What species is Greedo?
Greedo is a. Oh no, it's a.
See, this is what I was curious about.
Isn't it like does it end with Mordian?
That is so close.
It ends in Mordian. It's
No.
something Mordian.
No,
Something Ordian.
it sounds just like that.
It's Ordian. The end of it, right?
You basically just said it. You just switched 2 letters.
What?
It's
Rodian. It is
Yes.
Rodian. I told you it was an A.
Man, you were there. You knew that for sure.
It was. I could see it, but I had it. The first letter was hidden.
These are hard questions.
'Kay.
You're doing good.
Number 3.
All right. Which bounty hunter was trying to capture Han when Greedo arrived first?
Okay. So I know Boba Fett was on planet. I guess we could say Boba Fett.
No.
Was it IG-88? Was it
Stan's Boren.
Dan's Boren? Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. It must be from the book or something.
Must be. Yeah.
Dan's Boren.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hard one. I was like, I don't even know who that is. So
I'm still bummed about Rodian, honestly.
yeah. I see that was one question that I put on here. I was like, man, maybe the Star Wars community just knows this and I didn't.
Most of the people watching this clip will know.
Okay.
No,
we'll get some commenters who are just
for
like,
sure. Like,
oh
wow.
my goodness, you didn't know that. How could you?
Wow, that was a hard question.
I know.
I'm glad you found that.
That was all three of them. I mean,
nice.
Honestly, you did great though. Like I could tell.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
The Rodian one I did think you were going to get. That was one where I'm like, Star Wars fans probably just know this.
Perfect. Well, thank you for
nice job.
Thank you for bringing this month's trivia.
That was fun.
That was fun. We are going to get into our topic of the day, which is at Star Wars Celebrations this year in Japan. What are we most excited for, or what do we hope they will release or air? So it is in April. It's April 18th to 20th. We're getting our predictions in early so that we don't get anything spoiled. Well, what I do know, there's going to be a lot about Andor Season 2.
Yes.
Because it's going to be coming out like the next day, 2 days later.
Yeah.
So tons of interviews on that. I'm sure they'll get like a bunch of sneak peeks of it. But what else do we hope? Do you want to go first or do you want me?
Go ahead.
So here's my predictions of what I think they're going to release. We're going to get a title or a better like title card for the new Rey movie. I think we're at least going to get a title. And then I think we're also going to get probably obviously a lot more Mandalorian Grogu stuff. Maybe I'm hoping more plot, like a lot more plot. Like who is this Jabba's son character? Like what does this mean to the actual story?
Right.
Third thing is I think we'll also get a like a cover art for the Dawn of the Jedi movie they're going to make. And then my hope, here's something I hope. Before I get into like wild ones that like I really wish they do, the last one I think they might tease at is give us a title for Taika Waititi's movie he's in writing right now.
Huh. Yeah. Well, you said two of mine.
Okay.
Dawn of the Jedi was one I thought they might at least show more of a trailer for or something. You know, and then Mandalorian Grogu is my other one. I feel like they're gonna come up with like a longer trailer, some sort of teaser, or something that they're gonna show.
Hopefully,
which I think in that probably reveal one of the characters we were talking about. Maybe a character from Skeleton Crew or a character that's gonna be in the movie. I think that would be revealed in the next trailer or something.
Yeah,
which brings some excitement. You
that's
know?
true.
It's like when you see there's a Wookiee in a Star Wars trailer, and you're like, oh, that's sick. You know?
Yeah. They don't want to release that Jar Jar's gonna show up in this one too early.
Yeah,
but I wish. But what I hope that they've done a really good job with the shows not doing spoilers, like with Luke Skywalker, and then even with Grogu, like they didn't release any merch before. Yeah. Like they didn't even tell manufacturers. They just said, "Hey, we're going to have a character you're going to need to make," but they wanted to keep it secret till release. So they're pretty good at, and I hope they keep that because I think we're going to get a lot of. This is next month's topic, but in Andor. We're going to get a lot of like crossover because Andor and Rebels happened at the exact same time. So I think we're going to get some Rebels characters. We're going to get an Ahsoka because she was pretty crucial to we're going to get a young Leia, I think, probably a teenage Leia. Okay. That's that. But that is 1 month from 4 weeks from now, we're going to be discussing Andor. So let's not, but my prediction was they're not going to tell us anything about Andor that deep at the celebrations. So do you have any like predictions of like shows you hope shows or movies you hope they announce?
Well, the ones I wrote down for this, I do. I don't think they will.
Okay. Sure.
So I wrote down a movie about Kit Fisto.
That would be pretty sick because he gets nothing in the movies and almost nothing in the show.
I feel like there's quite a bit of, like you learn a lot about Kit Fisto in the Clone Wars. I feel
but it always felt like he was still like a mysterious character. To me.
Well, like I think he could be in a movie in himself just because he was one of those characters that like he's always smiling. Yeah, he had kind of like a suaveness to him. Yeah. He's like a cool guy, and he didn't have to say he was. I feel like that could make for like if I were to think of it like D&D, I see him as like a bard, kind of.
So do you want it to be about the secret love of him and Ayla Secura? Do you want it to be a love story, a forbidden Jedi love story?
Not really.
Because that's what everybody else wants.
Really?
Because there's like one comic strip where they like embrace, they hug one time, and they're like,
of course I want it.
This is a thing. So most people think that they're in.
Well, if they made it, I think they would have to include that. Then it sounds like
because you have to have something.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have love interest in a movie, obviously, but
if that, I feel like if that's a want, they're gonna find that out, and that would be something that's.
You'd be surprised because they don't do that with all the content. Wow, people really want this.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily do it. I think they're getting better. On that, I definitely posted misinformation earlier this week about Kathleen Kennedy resigning at the end of the year. She has come out and said, "I'm not retiring. What are you talking about? I'm going to be doing this forever." She said, "I'm going to be making movies forever."
Oh, but still done with Star Wars?
She said, "I'm not retiring." That's all she said. It was like she said, "No, I'm not retiring. What are you guys talking about? I'm going to be doing this forever."
I feel like I kind of hear that as her saying though, like she could be done with Star Wars, but still like working for other films, or she has something else that she's a part of.
Unless I misread, I'm pretty sure she's not stepping down.
Huh. They just posted something on Andor. They were making posts about it this week.
Did you watch the trailer?
I didn't watch the trailer yet.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I need to. You could. I mean, we're gonna say something about it.
No. But it's really exciting. It's really well done. It looks sweet. He has so many costume changes this season.
Wow.
Meaning because it's over 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Remember I told you it's 3 episodes the first night, and that's a whole arc. So basically what we're getting 4 movies if you think about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did see that, like the way that they're breaking it up.
And and each year is going to be
3 episodes for every release.
But do you know why?
Well, is it to make it like that? Like you're watching movies? Short movies?
In a way, because the first...
Oh, wait, I see what you're saying. It's like 4 sections.
Because the first 3 are during Andor, like the first season, like season 1 of Andor.
Yeah.
And then the second one will be like 5 years later. And then the third week will be a year after that. And it's going to end, and they did release it.
Like chunks of time of his life?
Well, yeah, of the rebellion.
But it's specifically towards him or just different times in general where he's at? Do you get what I'm asking?
Nope. I have no idea what you're asking. It's about Andor. It's from his perspective.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is it like 4 sections of like his own life, or is it going to be... Well, I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, we'll forget about that.
So basically, it's going to be... Since the first season was when he first started the rebellion.
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes will be about that same time period, like give or take a couple months.
Yeah.
And then the second episode will be like 2 years later when he's a little bit more involved. And because of the first season, right, he wasn't that invested in like winning. He didn't care about the rebellion. It was just a job. But now, and then the second one is he's a little bit older, like 2 or 3 years later, where he's like in it. The third one will be like talking to Mon Mothma the whole time, and like maybe he'll be part of like the rebels. And then the final episode will be the same day as Rogue One.
Wow. Yeah, you really looked into this more than I did. I need to watch the trailer.
I know, it's pretty sweet. So
I literally just saw that there was one. I got excited about that. Like, they're posting about him.
In the end, there's pretty much 4 movies of 4 different timelines. Of Andor's life.
That's cool. And honestly, that's a great way to release them.
It's a great way.
I feel like it should always be done that way. Because like sometimes, especially with something like Skeleton Crew or The Acolyte, you can tell when it's kind of a filler episode. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you already set the expectation that someone's going to get upset about a filler episode when they're released that way.
Yep.
You know, when they're one at a time, it means you have to make like each episode can't be as good. You know, there's got to be some fill in with it. So doing all 3 at one release makes sense, you know?
Unless you just made like 4 really long episodes. Yeah. Because then there might be a filler episode, but you have the next one.
Honestly, even if they did 2 every time.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that was a common thing for a little bit. When shows were coming out, they do 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
I've seen in quite a few shows.
We'll probably get a name of another animated show.
Another animated, huh?
Because they don't have any coming out right now. The only ones in the future are like Young Jedi Adventures, and we have the new Vision Season 3 coming out. But we don't have any like Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Rebellion, Tales of like whatever, right?
That was the other thing I wrote, by the way. I just realized I told you just the Kit Fisto thing.
You did just
and
tell
I didn't say the second one. Tales of the Sith was the other one.
Yep. Because that department of Lucasfilm, the animation doesn't have any projects right now that we know of. They did announce way back in the day like a droids show, like all about droids, which George Lucas would love.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the interview of George Lucas and Dave Filoni, where Dave was like, they're asking like, hey, what's your guys' favorite episode of the Clone Wars? And Dave Filoni was like, he told his, and then George is like, you know which one mine is, and Dave's like, that droid one. Do you know which droid episode?
No.
There's a whole episode about R2D2 with no talking, and they're just in the desert with a bunch of droids.
Oh, I've seen a YouTube video of that.
Yeah.
That's what that
George
is.
Lucas's favorite Clone Wars episode.
That's so funny.
He's such a funny guy. But I'm hoping it won't be a droid show like that, where it's just droids but no talking.
You know, that's something I feel like we forget. Like R2D2 was something George Lucas loved. Like that's one of his like favorite ideas of a character.
He made him.
Yeah. I remember they're seeing some sort of interview on him, and he was saying that about he was like so happy about the droids that he made, and like what that did to the film. Yeah, Tales of the Sith, and then Tales of the Droids.
Back in 2020, they did a whole drop of like show names. Lando. That's when they announced the Mandalorian the first time. They announced Ahsoka, Rangers of the Republic, Andor, Bad Batch, Acolyte, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi. Out of these they haven't made yet. We only have Rangers of the New Republic, which is supposed to be a live action show. Okay. Lando, Rogue Squadron the movie, or a droid story it was called.
Huh. A droid story. So that is that kind of.
It is kind of like that. Tale of the Droids would be fun.
But a droid story also sounds like it could just be a story literally about one droid. You know, like it's not talking about the droids.
It could be about R2D2 or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Like his life before episode 1.
Yeah. Like, what's it like being this sort of droid, you know? Life as a Gronk.
Yeah, or a Gonk droid.
Yeah, Gonk droid.
Dude, I was at the thrift store today, and there was a Gonk droid for sale. Like a tiny like action figure with a Jawa.
That's cool.
But it was like $40, and I was like,
whoa.
I love Gonk, but I'm not paying $40. I'm like,
yeah, they're like just a little toy, like
like an inch tall.
Yeah, that's crazy. $40 to spend.
Yeah, I was excited, and then I wasn't, and then I also turned down I almost bought a foot tall Jar Jar Binks, but I didn't want to pay $25.
A foot tall. That's such a weird size to have for Jar Jar Binks. A foot tall.
I decided that I have a collection of Star Wars things, as you can tell on my wall, but they're all very hodgepodge, just some random things, not like a ton.
Random.
I've decided that I would rather focus my collection on something a little more attainable. Like I don't want to collect only R2D2s. That'd be way too many things. Yeah, but there is a finite amount of resources of Jar Jar Binks merchandise. I could see myself someday having every Jar Jar Binks merch. All the Jar Jar Binks.
That's crazy. That's kind of a big goal.
Did you see the one I shared about this girl that has like all of them? She has like 2 Jar Jar Binks floaties. She has a Jar Jar Binks head on her wall. She has the full-size 7-foot Jar Jar Binks statue.
I'm just picturing these things.
She has so many
Jar Jar Binks floaties.
Yeah, 2 of them. 2 different ones. One's a blow-up chair so you can sit in his lap. And the second one is the one you sit in his lap as well, but in the water.
Wow, those are crazy.
Yeah,
Jar Jar Binks toys.
There's a lot. And that's all episode 1. So turning it down today was hard. I was like, man, maybe I should start collecting Jar Jar Binks. Have a whole Jar Jar Binks shelf instead. And I'll get there at some point in my life when I'm older and wiser.
You get all the Jar Jar Binks stuff.
I think that'd be a ton of fun. I want the full 7-foot tall statue.
7 feet. Like, think about how tall that is.
I have to go in my garage. It'll scare away homeless people if they try to get in.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like it's at 7 feet tall. It's like something you have to like keep outside or something like that.
It will fit in your house.
That's tall for a house.
It'll fit in your because 8-foot ceilings normally, or 7.5.
Yeah, but that's like when a Christmas tree is almost touching the top.
Yeah,
like that's how it feels.
You just yeah.
But Jar Jar,
I would love it.
Oh my gosh, you could have a
Jar
Jar tree.
If I get big enough, I'm going to reach out to that one gal and I want to go to her house, which is super creepy and a really awkward message. But I want to see her Jar Jar Binks collection so bad. Well, my big dream for Celebrations is we get Jar Jar Binks back in a movie.
Yeah,
old Jar Jar Binks teaching the next generation as a Bombad general.
That'd be sweet. Just anything more Jar Jar Binks.
Even a Gungan. I would settle for a Gungan at this point in my life.
A Gungan.
A Gungan at this point in my life. I'm getting older, man. Yeah. Just want to see one more Gungan in my life. Bye, George.
Just give me one more Gungan.
What I will say is I posted on the internet what is your least favorite Star Wars character? And what would you say, Ethan? What's your least favorite Star Wars character?
That's really hard. I don't know what I would say.
Okay. Well, okay.
Probably Finn.
Finn, okay. Here are the.
I just think he could have been better.
Here are all the comments that scared me because I didn't see them coming. Sure, you have Jar Jar Binks. Sure. Count Dooku.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect you to say that.
In Joel Life
I feel like that's
Count
a popular
Dooku.
one. Like, people like Count Dooku.
Josh says Windu. Didn't like how harsh he was.
Wait, that one I can kind of understand, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like... But the problem is it's just because you know who Samuel L. Jackson is. And that's like how he is in a lot of his movies, you know? So it might just be the fact that it's like, it sounds like him in every single movie. But it's just because we know him well, and that's how like Mace Windu can just be him, who he was then, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I just want to go through some of these shocking ones. Next is Qui-Gon Jinn, their least favorite character.
That's crazy.
The next one's Padme.
I can see
Darth
that.
Maul, Hondo, and Anakin Skywalker.
Why Hondo?
And then my favorite comment was from Christopher Elkins, who says, Mars Gao. What a sack of crap. Do you know who Mars Gao is?
No.
Okay. Imagine, put yourself in a pod racer. Just imagine yourself in pod racing. And then the guy next to you dies and he goes, what? This guy, Mars Gao, he goes,
wow.
That was my best impersonation of it. I'll try again
later.
That
was pretty good.
I only did that because a girl today on Instagram, I saw a video. She's like, this is my hidden talent. Listen.
We're going to link the video in there. Link her video.
Oh, her video was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. You know that guy?
That should just be one of your noises now on the podcast.
Just that guy's death?
Yeah, just...
Really, I should have one of the sounds being the like Yoda death sound or like the Lego Star Wars death sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go... You went all the way down to Grogu.
No, that's like the girls on the fall.
Yeah.
So, my next question about celebrations is, what are you scared they're going to announce? Like, what would you be like upset about? Like a realistic one. Like, I think if they release they're doing what character? I feel like it's got to be a character. If they announced a young Luke Skywalker show, meaning Sebastian Shaw replacing him, I would be upset.
Why is that?
Well, one, it's not Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill's already that age. Two, they've already established in lore that when he was younger, he did look like himself, meaning Mandalorian with all the, and Book of Boba Fett with the de-aging. They've already established, I feel like it would be too much to jump back. I hate Sebastian Shaw's character as Luke Skywalker.
I knew you were going to go there.
What?
In your conversation, it instantly went to, I hate Sebastian Shaw, because I've heard you say that before. I know I have. Right as you started talking about it, reminded me of when you talked about him.
Sebastian Shaw in this.
Yes.
That would be I would be upset about that. What do you think? Anything you would?
I can't really think if there's one I would be upset at seeing.
Okay, what if they said they're going to remake the original trilogy?
Well, I would be upset at that.
Some people want that.
Okay, now I see what you're saying.
Some people have wanted that.
But I thought you wanted like more realistically, what they would do next.
People called for that in the past on the internet. Like, please just remake him in modern technology and make him so much better. Okay, what about video games? Like, what video games do you think they could announce? What about a complete, like a remake of your favorite, Force Unleashed? What if they remade it in a new, brand new way?
I've thought about this. Story. They could definitely do that converted to Lego, and I think it would be a cool game. Everybody to replay it. I'd like to start with the Force Unleashed. I think that was the first game I played.
That's not Lego.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. You think about kids' games as Legos. I didn't start with a Lego game.
Yeah.
I started with that one, the Force Unleashed. That was the first one I ever played, and I loved it. So when I played a Lego game after, in my mind, that was like a newer version of that game. It was a fun way to play more characters. So if they did something like that today, that's how I'd see it.
That could be fun.
Okay, well now make Lego The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I think there should be a DLC. Start doing DLCs for the Lego game.
A DLC for something.
They're too. Yeah, I hope we get more trailer for Star Wars Eclipse. I love giant video games. GTA 6 is very tempting.
Yeah.
I like investing in a world.
What if they had something in GTA 6 where you could just like go play a video game in GTA 6?
Someday they're going to have that.
But like ones that are already uploaded in there, and you can only play those.
Oh, you can only play the ones that are in your console?
In the GTA game. Like preloaded into the game. Like I'm thinking like if you're in GTA, you walked into your home.
Yes.
And you sat down and you could actually play a game that's preloaded in there.
Yes.
And that was a Star Wars game. That was their release. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow. That would be insane.
Yeah.
I hope they do that. I hope they do
Wouldn't
that.
that be sick?
That would not be sick. But
somehow Star Wars partnered with Rockstar. That would be a huge surprise.
That would be a huge surprise.
Yeah.
But I would like a little more. Did you play the Jedi Survivor games?
Yep.
I liked how it played. It was a little, but it was still like that brand new style where it's like almost too slow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, too slow.
Because they want them to be hyper realistic. So
you just do a lot of the same stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just in different types of settings.
But with that, I don't want a new game like that. I want them to like capture the old school one, but like do like a Darth Vader game. You know, like a full you're Darth Vader, and like you're just killing everybody.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like choose your character, choose your story.
Yeah, well that's what Eclipse is supposed to be.
Oh wow,
Eclipse might be an MMO.
That would be really, really cool. I could just see like hopping online with your friends, choose your character, and then like meet up somewhere.
They announced this game 3 years ago, and they haven't given it. So I think hopefully, normally when video games are developed slow, it means they're hopefully being developed good.
This could be a big announcement in the Japan one then.
What?
Because I feel like there's so many Japanese games as well. It's like, what if they also release something about Eclipse finally in the Japan celebrations? It'd be a cool place to do that.
Like, I'm glad they're not giving us too much. I don't want like too many games too fast, but I would like something.
Have you played Demon Slayer on the Nintendo?
No, I only watched Demon Slayer.
I have a Demon Slayer on my Nintendo, and I feel like that would be a cool way to play a story of like a Star Wars character. You haven't played it, but it's like that. It's that type where it looks like it's kind of cartoon graphics, anime graphics, but it's like shows them with a story below them, and then you like choose your path, sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
and it switches back the other way. Yeah,
it's like choose your own adventure.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Actually, we didn't even talk about Comic-Con.
We're going to Comic-Con.
Yeah, we're going to Comic-Con.
We're going to be at Comic-Con this weekend.
March 8th.
We got to say which one. We're going to be at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
So all you P&W folks, make your way to Emerald City. You can meet us live. We don't have a booth. We're just going to be there. Yeah. I'm just going to have a shirt that says my name on it, and Ethan will be.
We'll ask you some questions or sword fight you.
We will
lightsaber fight.
Oh, I hate carrying lightsabers around.
Do you say sword fight when you're talking about lightsabers?
No, you say duel.
Oh, that's a way better word for it. Wow, that actually answered a big question for me. You say duel when you're talking about a lightsaber fight. Can you call a lightsaber fight a sword fight?
No.
Okay.
You cannot. If you do, straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to nerd
That is
jail.
illegal.
That's like when you say Legos instead of Lego.
You get kicked out of Disney if on the park you fight with lightsabers and call it a sword fight. We probably covered everything.
I think that's all we got. I want them to have a Star Wars and Doctor Who crossover. So David Tennant can see Luke Skywalker. Doctor Who. Barbecue foot lettuce. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Ethan, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining. If you made it this far, send me a message because you are an insane person for making it this far in the episode. I don't even think I will ever hear this part of the episode because I will always skip at this point. Anyways, thanks for joining. As always, may the Force be with you. Always.